on Ryan's hope.
I feel at home in your arms. Why don't we just act on our feelings?
Faith and Pat rediscover their love. Ryan's hope.
Support my way. I'd like to take over his public appearances. Georgia heard from a private source that there was a nuclear freeze debate in a Brownstone Revival Committee meeting tomorrow. Have you thought about anything concrete that we might offer him? I suppose just a promise of best efforts. Frank, I'm ready.
Hey, listen, why don't you go on ahead without me, huh?
Thanks. This meeting is in your office. Jerry specifically asked that you be there.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, my guess is because he knows you, likes you, trusts you, and feels that he can count on you. Now, if there are other reasons, I'm sure you'll be the first one to know. And besides all of that, I want you there.
Well, that's enough reason for me.
What time did you get up? I know it was before the alarm because I reached over for you.
I don't know. It was
You weren't
early.
there.
I thought my tossing and turning might wake you up.
Couldn't sleep?
No, Charlotte's letter kept going through my head. I couldn't turn it off.
I wish you had wakened me.
You need to sleep.
Yeah, well, so do you. You know, Frank, it might have helped if we talked about it.
Maybe. I kept thinking about what you said to me. Maybe I was ready to let go, but Charlotte isn't.
Well, that's what it seemed from her letter.
She can't hold on if I won't let her.
Sounds reasonable.
Only thing is, if I can. Apparently, I'm not able to yet, or I wouldn't have let it keep me awake half the night.
But at least you're becoming aware of it. Don't you see that's a step in the right direction?
What's the next step?
I think you know that as well as I do. Get involved elsewhere. Start with me, for instance. Come on. Let's go. We have a meeting. People to see.
So we do. You know, sometimes I think you're smart enough to be incompetent.
Hope so. Don't. Just leave it.
Yeah, right. Is that a relief?
No. No, I was just thinking about the day ahead. Would it be funny if I decided to turn all of my support over to Jerry Foreman?
There's no danger in that, is there?
No. No, of course not. I'm going to spend the day radiating self-confidence, optimism.
You always do.
I'm better when you're there.
Well, then today should be a snap.
Good. Oh, I forgot my letters. I've got to mail them. You all set?
Yeah. What do you say? You want to stop at the diner along the way and shake some hands?
Well, wouldn't hurt.
Let's do it.
WTJ-TV and discovered that it would be an extremely poor investment at this time. However, the good news is that he's found you a small station in Connecticut that has done very well and is looking for capital to expand. Now, you wouldn't be able to purchase a controlling interest in it, but
Could we just stop a minute here? I am not interested in just any TV station. I'm interested in WTJ-TV.
I know that was your first choice, but I couldn't advise you to buy as much as 10 shares in that operation.
Oh, Holman, I know that the station is overextended. I told you that. I didn't ask you to investigate the advisability of this. I asked you to make the deal.
My dear, Any attorney who negotiate an investment of this size without investigating the advisability should be disbarred. Now, tell her what you found out, Freddie.
Well, it's a disastrous financial picture, Miss Kirkland. Numerous bank loans outstanding, income below expenses, cash flow problems.
So I should be able to pick it up for a fraction of its worth.
And in all likelihood, lose every cent in the long run.
You obviously have no faith in my ability to turn this thing around.
It has nothing to do with your creative ability, Lee. It has to do with cold, hard financial facts. Essentially, you'd be joining forces with the present owner, who has, to put it mildly, an unenviable credit background.
Very patchy. Nothing irregular, but no substantial holdings.
Well, it's an investment your father would never approve of.
But he doesn't have to.
No, he doesn't. I simply mean that your father's a very shrewd investor, and he didn't build his fortune on acquisitions of nearly defunct business operations.
I'm not trying to build a fortune.
Well, you're not trying to lose one either, are you? Obviously, this is something that you want very much. But I have to remind you that you have far less disposable income than you had before the disastrous European ballet tour.
Thank you. You've reminded me. Your conscience should be cleared. I've heard your recommendations. I'm ignoring them.
Lee, give this a little more thought, please. I could never face your father if I let you act on such an impulse.
If you were my sister, I would never allow it.
Really? This is turning into some kind of a family hour. Oh, Holman. I couldn't put you on the spot like that with Daddy.
No, I'm glad to hear it.
This is obviously a real conflict of interest for you.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I only have one interest, and that's to protect your investments.
Well, then maybe it's my problem. I want my lawyer to make a deal for me, and he can't make it because he's worried about my father's approval. Now, I wonder if he worries about my approval when he makes the deal for Daddy, huh?
Well, that is a valid point. From now on, I will.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Holman. You can forget about WTJ-TV.
Ah, that's a very wise decision.
And you can send me a final bill.
A final bill? Lee, it's your interest we're trying to protect. There's no conflict. I give you exactly the same advice I'd give Kirk.
Well, maybe that is the problem. Because my father and I are very different people. We have different needs.
If you're determined to buy this station, we will try to get the most advantageous position we can.
No, thank you, Holman. I think I'll go and find a brand new attorney of my own.